Before I get to partnerships, let me share my thoughts, first of all, around our building a sustainable future and just how we contribute to that, because this is a space which no one individual entity can do it alone, right? It's not a space where we are competing. It's a space where we all have to join hands because we see the impact of it. Now, what is building a sustainable future? I mean, quite obvious is the fact that climate health is a serious issue that we are facing today. You know, if you look at the last few years, in fact, let's start currently. We've got floods in Botswana, we've got floods in Zambia. So Southern Africa has got floods. Last year, Southern Africa had a drought. And in that drought, some of our countries like Zambia that are dependent on hydropower have got serious load shedding, which lasts the whole day. Now, how do you grow and develop an economy with such load shedding, with such impact from the climate? We had floods in Eastern Africa, same type of result where lots of property infrastructure destroyed. That's devastating. So we see that impact every day on the climate health. And then on the social justice, you know, if you think about social equity today, how do we distribute resources in a fair and just manner? That's a big issue right now. And what comes to mind for all of us is education, healthcare, housing, employment opportunities. And we know that, you know, it's not about everybody being equal. You know, equity is really that there are imbalances and there's a history here that leads to certain populations or groups being underserved or vulnerable to these things. Now, I talked about health, education and all, but financial services are a big part of that as well. It's a resource that we need to distribute. And therefore, a lot of our colleagues here will talk about what we've invested in terms of our micro and finance solutions that target SMEs and previously disadvantaged people who are still disadvantaged today, but also in our digital solutions. How do we spread and reach out more people? But to do this comes to the point you raised around partnerships. Can't do it alone. You know, you don't have the brain power. And therefore, to me, this conversation is really about sharing best practice. It is about sharing in terms of what has worked elsewhere. How can we success transfer? It is about sharing what are the trends that are out there that are quite impactful. And the more impactful we are in one place, the more we can scale it up. Now, you need a lot of resources to scale it up, and you can't do it alone. And therefore, those partnerships are critical. And we've seen those partnerships work in a number of countries. And I think our colleagues who showed the video itself showed just how we're able to do those things. We don't do it alone. I think whether we are doing it as individuals or we're doing it as a company, we're doing it at a national level, you've got to join forces, right? There's a lot of innovation going on. That's quite important. Innovation is important. We need to think creatively in order to scale up. So who we partner with, whether it's on technology or having more deeper pockets and resources so that we can make a difference, makes a huge, huge impact across. It goes to scaling all these things up. So it's a journey we are on, Amanda, and I think very happy to be having this conversation and also very happy myself to be learning on all the different things that are happening, because every time I visit a country and I see what our colleagues are doing, it's mind-blowing. I mean, we're going to showcase, I think, 3 or 4 countries today, but every country I go to, there are things that we're doing that are mind-blowing. You meet the partners that we work with, you see how passionate they are about making a difference, and then you meet the recipients of all this support that is being rendered, you know, the empowerment that's being rendered. I've met small businesses that have grown and are even exporting in West Africa. And when you talk to the individual and he tells you the story of the first loan we gave that individual, which wasn't even the amount he asked for, it was smaller. But then he proved himself, we were able to support them. They are now exporting within the region. Those are remarkable stories because it goes to all those opportunities on employment and creating an environment where the livelihood is better on social equity. I want to talk about strong governance because I think everybody here is an expert on strong governance. So that is very, very important as well. So I'll leave it here because I'm also looking forward to hear all the different stories that are going to come out of this conversation, and looking forward to learning as well in terms of what else can we do in order to join hands and scale up. and have a greater impact.